Don't call me bro.
I know.
We're better than that. Welcome to the Izzy and Nils show. Today, how to fail at UX. Okay, what?
It's always fun every time I hear it.
That's great. Thanks.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our 11th episode, which is all about how to fail at UX. We're going to be talking about what exactly user experience means and many different user experience failures out there that you should be avoiding. Also, how UX is important for SEO and how you can avoid those problems in your search engine optimization work, and how you can properly measure good UX and lots of cool best practices.
So maybe we should apologize for our inconsistency.
Yes.
Yeah. So
it's all your fault.
yes, it is. Yeah. So maybe you will probably have noticed that we didn't publish an episode for the last 2 weeks, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And this was because we had some technical and time zone issues. So
Yes.
right now we are 6 hours apart from each other. I'm living 6 hours in the future, and Mr. Future.
Yes.
And yeah, so it's sometimes a bit difficult with Izzy's work schedule and with my, I don't know, my
living in the future stuff.
Yes, so all of these problems. So it's sometimes a bit hard to find an appointment. And then we had one the last time, but then the tech didn't work. So yeah, our recording just was messed up, so it didn't work. So yeah, all of this led to us not delivering what we promised in our very first intro episode, that we will publish a new episode each week. So sorry for that, but
yes,
happens.
We will get better, we promise.
Yeah. And also we will, in the future, probably record 2 episodes each time we record. So then, yeah, it's easier to stick to the schedule. So, yeah. But as this is all free, you cannot complain.
True.
Should we mention that we will have a joint talk?
Oh, I think we should tell people already. Also, it's very fitting with this topic. I think we should.
It is. Okay, so you say it.
Yeah, we have some exciting news. I think it's exciting.
For us, at least, yes.
Oh, yes. Nils and I are going to be doing our first ever joint talk in London in June.
Yes.
Yes, we're talking about... what are we talking about? We just agreed this on Friday, so it's still quite new. And we're going to be talking about integrating UX and Crow best practices and frameworks into good quality SEO.
Yes.
So both of our specialties coming together.
Yeah.
Very exciting. Also, it's Nils's first time in the UK.
Yes, it's
which is so exciting for me.
My first visit ever, and we will go to Burnley.
Yes.
I don't know if this is too private, but we will make a road trip through the UK, and I will drive and try not to crash.
Yes, and I'm going to be the DJ and take lots of selfies on the way.
Great.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, we should actually post these to our Instagram stories so that people know what's up.
So if you want to come and see mine and Nils's first talk, which is going to be magical, come check us out in London on the 6th of June at the Digital Elite Summit. It's going to be awesome. Also, there's a lot of great speakers there on SEO and conversion rate optimization.
Yes, Carl Gillis is there. He's my favorite speaker in conversion optimization. He's really funny. In conversion optimization. Of course, you are my favorite speaker, although I've never seen a talk.
Thank you.
And also there's Craig Sullivan, who's really cool, and he has pugs, so I have to like him. No, and he's really nice. He's a beautiful mind. And yeah.
Oh,
yeah, seriously.
What a compliment.
Actually, whenever he's posting something on Facebook, I'm not going to go into the details, but it was quite private what he posted there. And I actually cried one time or a few times when reading his posts, and it's like, oh my God. So yeah, I'm such a pussy. But yeah, no, he's really nice.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yes,
Link in the description.
exactly. Yeah, I'm very excited for the talk, and when we are both on stage, we can like walk there holding hands and stand there like two little
Yes.
children. And we should wear matching. Oh my god, we could wear awkward clothes, like a T-shirt where I have your face and you have my face, or something.
Oh my god, yes.
Okay, but we'll talk
If
about
the
that
organizers
later.
are listening to this, they're going to immediately regret choosing
That's
us.
fine.
Or think, yes, we made the best decision.
Yes. Finally, T-shirts with faces on our stage. No. Oh, wait a second. Do you hear that?
A little bit.
They have cars here. So I'm in Koh Samui right now in Thailand, and they have cars having advertisements for Muay Thai fighting. And sometimes there's even children on it that want to fight with bare knuckles. And
Oh my god.
seriously. And then they drive around in these cars and it says, tonight, the biggest fight. Blah, blah, blah. It's really, really strange. Yeah.
Are you afraid of children in Thailand if they can beat you down, bare knuckle style?
Yes. Yeah. So, first of all, maybe let's start with what user experience means, because I think many people might have many different opinions on what user experience is or what UX is. So, UX stands for user experience, if you didn't know that. But then you came to the wrong podcast. And yeah, so I actually Googled it to find a very smart sounding description, and one that I really liked. I forgot where I found it, so I cannot tell you where I found it. But yeah, it says, what does user experience mean? It's to improve the customer satisfaction or the customer loyalty through utility, ease of use, and pleasure provided in interaction with a product or service or a brand. So yeah, that's the smart sounding online definition of user experience.
Nice. I like it. It's a good summary. Was it given to you in a featured snippet by any chance?
No, it wasn't. I don't think so, but I don't remember. It was a few weeks ago. Also, I like that it's not only talking about pleasure in using or interaction with something, but it also tells you about the ease of use. And I think this is a huge part of a good user experience, that things are simple. I don't know, many people, when talking about user experience, I think they forget the usability part. And
Oh,
they
yes.
think it's just how something feels when using it, like images, videos, emotions, blah, blah, blah. But it's also usability is a huge part, or ease of use is a huge part of it. I don't really know what utility means, to be honest. I don't know the word in German.
Utility, I think, also comes under ease of use and usability, like things functioning in the correct way.
Oh, right.
And to the most optimal way. So not just working, but being more efficient, I think.
I'm sure that's true, if you say so.
Oh, the state of being useful, profitable, or beneficial. Yes, it's basically what I said.
Yes, exactly. Stupid internet. Yeah, also we will cover a lot of examples today, like how can you fail at UX, because that's the topic of this episode. And I think we will, of course, mostly talk about marketing, online marketing, internet things, but also I experienced a lot of user experience fails myself in the real world. Like, for example, if you want to buy a ticket on, how are they called, these machines for train tickets or something. So very often these are
a ticket machine.
Oh, right. Very often these are very unusable, and
oh yes,
sometimes, I mean, although I think I'm kind of good in operating interfaces, because I've seen a lot of them, most of the time works, but sometimes it's just impossible because you just don't know, in a foreign city, you just don't know what ticket you need. And I don't know how it can be so hard to make this easy. It shouldn't be so hard. That's what she said.
Good one.
Thanks.
Yeah, I experience tons of UX failures on a day-to-day basis. And I think when you work in digital marketing, they stand out so much more than the average user. Of course, they're still annoying to those people, but the smallest things can trigger me in terms of a UX fail.
Do you have an example?
Oh, wasn't the Trello thing
Right. But I forgot what it was.
So Nils and I have a Trello board for our podcast. I really like Trello. I would recommend it as a project management tool.
Yes, it's
And
cool.
yeah, and we were writing down our notes for this episode, but both at the same time. So when I hit save, it had my previous version there, and it overwrote Niels's changes, so it completely deleted all of his. Whereas a small change and saying, "Hey, this is being edited at the moment by Niels. Be careful," or something like that.
Yeah, and it's not even hard to implement something like
No.
that. It's like a few lines of code.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That could have, saved us from all of that frustration, even though it was quite a small use case, but still.
Yes. Yeah, and I think if someone from Trello is listening, probably not, but maybe that's something you can change. Thank you.
Yes, that's a user request
Yeah.
from your fans.
I just had to experience my worst user experience ever because I have some boxes stored in Berlin. It's like a storage pickup service. So they take the box from you, they pick it up, and they bring it back to where you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a box there, and I urgently needed it before flying away. And they just didn't bring it. And then I couldn't reach them by phone at first. And then when I reached them, it was like a third party phone support provider. And they were, of course, saying, no, we really work there. We're sitting in the same office, blah, blah, blah. But it was very obvious that they are not. So I don't know, they sometimes even said the name of the company wrong. So it's obviously not people working there. And that's also
God.
just really bad. So if you want to use one of these phone support things that you can use, of course, but then you should educate them so that they can actually help. And it was just, It felt like talking to idiots. So yeah, in real life, a lot of things happen, but as I said, what we're talking about today is more online marketing oriented user experience.
Yes.
So you cannot only mess up real life user experience or your own website if you're interacting with users on any platform. So it can be social media, like on Facebook or wherever. And so if people are commenting on your posts, then you should interact with them in a good way so that they think you deliver a good user experience, because this will not only make them happy and maybe increase your reach because people like your Facebook page or something, but also they might be more willing to buy from you. But that's just a side note.
No, that's good. That's like having like multi-channel UX, like improved UX. So not just focusing about UX in the sales funnel, but also throughout the whole stage of the customer journey.
Such a bullshit bingo from you here. Multi-channel user experience with different touch points in the user journey. And funnels.
There are no other way. There's no other way of saying those words. Sometimes you just got to say them.
Yeah, at least it makes sense here, and you don't just use it like other people on conferences that just want to use these words because they sound cool.
Oh my God, we should organize our own bullshit bingo and hand them out to people.
For our talk in London?
Yes.
We should.
Yes.
We should write that in our idea board. I will do it. Because in Trello, we have a new column in our board that is called Cool as Fuck Side Ideas. We cannot tell you those. But
no, we can't. Because you're going to cache.
These are very great ideas.
Yes.
Bullshit bingo for London talk. Cool.
Do you think everyone knows what bullshit bingo is? I hope they do.
Oh, no. I think they don't know. Educate them. Oh, do you remember this list of 20 things to sound smart? Maybe not everyone knows what bullshit bingo means, so maybe you can explain it for the others.
Yes.
That's actually a really funny list of things to do in a meeting to sound smart. We should maybe link this in the description as well, because it's very entertaining.
Yes, we should share it. Yeah. Like how when you're speaking to a developer and engineer, you should repeat exactly what they said to them, but slowly, so that you sound just as smart as they are.
Yes. Or if if someone uses percentages like 25%, you should say like, so 1 in 4. and invite people that don't have to attend the meeting, and then tell them in the beginning, James, you don't have to be in this meeting.
Have you ever done that?
Actually, no.
Okay.
Because I didn't have this list before. So.
Oh, that's true.
Yes. No, but it's really funny. And it's 20 things to do, so we will link it. Also, you find the show notes. By the way, if you're listening on iTunes, you don't really find the notes because the description is very limited. But you can just go to easynilsshow.com and just pick the episode from our homepage. And then you will find all the links, including an actual link, so you can click it. In Spotify, you cannot click it.
Oh, I didn't know that. I never tried. Nice way to get people onto the website, by the way. Cool.
Yes. What a good user experience.
Oh, yes. Bullshit bingo is where you have a list of buzzwords or like bullshit terms that you will always expect to find in those meta talks. And you have to make a list or a column like you do in bingo, or all of them. I don't remember. And
no, it has to be like 4x4 fields normally, or 5x5 or something. And then when you have one row, diagonal or just horizontal or vertical.
So every time someone says that word, yes, you tick it off. When you have a line or a diagonal line, then you can stand up and shout bullshit and you win.
Yes. And then you get something like a slap in the face.
Yes.
In London, you would.
A really dramatic one as well.
But we should actually really do that and hand it out to the first row of the audience. This should be really fun.
Yes. So you should all be fighting for the front row.
It's probably the speaker's row, and they will all be like, oh.
Yes.
Okay, we'll discuss this later.
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, some examples that we could think of. Of course, if you have more, feel free to use Twitter with hashtag #IssyNilsShow and just share your user experience fails that you can think of, because there are thousands and we just thought of a few. So if you have more, it will be very entertaining to read. And also we would like to have some more hashtag usage on Twitter. That's the actual reason why I say this. One thing I see a lot, especially on airline websites where you can book flights, or I don't really know where I see it, but I see it a lot. And sometimes you have this newsletter checkbox if you are in a form and you fill it in, and then you can type your email, and then in the end you say, yes, I want to receive information about something. I want to subscribe to your newsletter. And this is okay, because then people don't have to type their email again if they want to get your newsletter, and they can just tick the box and that's it. And it's fine. But many companies use, I called it a newsletter uncheck box. So you don't check it, but you have to uncheck it. Like there's a box saying, I wish not to receive your newsletter. And you have to tick it so that you don't get the newsletter. And this is really weird. First of all, it's a bit hard to understand. So talking about ease of use, utility, pleasure, I think this doesn't happen here. And also what happens if you do that. So by the way, if you're doing it, you're very stupid. So change it. Change yourself. And what happens if you use it is you will get the subscribers that don't want to read your newsletter, and you will not get the subscribers that want to read your newsletters. So basically you're just attracting people who are not interested in what you have to say, and those that are interested will not get the information because they probably mistakenly didn't tick the checkbox, or they did and then suddenly they don't get your newsletter because no one reads those texts in a form. Like people don't read the whole line of text usually. They will just see a newsletter. No, I will not check it. I will not tick it. So don't do that. One more sentence is also called a dark pattern. So I think we linked to this in a previous episode, but we can link again to darkpatterns.org, which is a funny website where you find all of these things that you shouldn't do because you will just, I don't know, play games with your audience.
Yes, I hate this in like UX design where people try and break conventions of design. So they want to be cool and innovative by testing unconventional things. Like maybe the newsletter uncheck box is not a design thing, but
No.
it's unconventional. People are used to clicking a box if they want to subscribe, not the other way around. But these designers who think that, maybe an icon for the play button should be something more interesting instead, and then people get confused. Or if, like, the navigation of a website, it's things like discover, feel, sense, love, rather than like going to having actual descriptive names
Yes.
of their subpages.
Yeah.
And this is so frustrating.
Yeah, that's when the copywriters go crazy in self-fulfillment.
Yes.
So, yes. Yeah, it's also not only the description or the text on buttons or something, but sometimes also the positioning. So, for example, I have a lot of flight examples, but I was booking a flight, and then you get these insurances that you can have for, I don't know, your travel insurance. And there was a pop-up, like a window that was an overlay saying something about the insurance if I wanted, and then they made it so that the right button, so there was a left button and a right button, and usually the right one, because we read from left to right, so the right one would be the one that continues, and the left one would be something like go back or decline or whatever. And also the coloring, like if you have a very colorful button, like a full color button, it would be the primary button, like the one that continues, and you would have maybe an outline button that doesn't have a background color but only an outline, and this would be the secondary button. And so what they did, because they wanted to trick me in getting this insurance, so they had the primary button, and they know many people don't take this insurance, so the primary button on the right side said continue without, which is actually nice, and the left one said continue with insurance. I'm not sure. I think I'm explaining bullshit here. I forgot how it happened, but it was.
Was the left one without and the right one
I
with?
don't remember, but it was
So
really
you were more
confusing.
inclined to click the right one.
It was like, I forgot what exactly happened there, but it was like intentionally you would click the wrong one, and I did. So I bought this fucking insurance,
Oh
and
my
it
God.
was like the last step. I didn't even get to confirm. It was just this one button, then thanks, you're done, because it was after the payment or while payment or whatever. But I will cut this out because it's a stupid example if I can't explain it in the correct way.
Oh, but you kind of explained it.
I'll leave it in including this disclaimer that I'm confused.
That's okay. You make a lot of airline bookings. But yeah, I really dislike it when conversion rate optimization also involves trying to trick people like that, which is shitty.
And also, this leads to negative reviews, negative ratings online, because,
Yeah.
as you all know, people have to be extremely satisfied or slightly unsatisfied to give you a rating. So you might not want to unsatisfy them.
Yeah, increasing that booking by, I don't know, 20% can mean that you've lost a loyal customer, or you've gained increased negative reviews, which will, decrease your brand trust. So it's not worth it in the end.
Yeah. Also, maybe we should talk about these fucking exit intent pop-ups.
Ugh. The ones that pop up when you're about to leave the page.
Or, yeah, I mean, people call it exit intent pop-ups all the time, but actually it can appear when you are about to leave the page. So when you move your mouse cursor to the top and it leaves the screen, so that's tracked by JavaScript or jQuery, and then you can say, oh, in this moment, please give the user this annoying pop-up. I mean, actually, it's just pop-ups that prevent the user from reading the content. So sometimes it also comes when you enter the page. So before people can even see what you offer there or what the content is, you will get a subscribe to your newsletter and save 5% of your next order pop up. So it's really annoying. And like, why would I subscribe there? Because I don't even know what you offer. And it's just annoying. And whenever you use them, people will hate you. Everyone hates those, and no one says, what a nice pop-up. I might type my email here.
Yes, so
Yes.
useful.
No, so don't do that. But what works, I mean, they grab attention, of course, yes. And it works better than just putting your newsletter form in your footer of your page, because people will see it more often. So you will get a better conversion rate on your newsletter if you use those, but you will also lose sales, which people usually don't track when they test these things. So instead of using these exit intent pop-ups that hide the content that is on your page, you should rather use something like a small window, a small box that appears on the lower right or on the lower left side of your page as soon as someone scrolled like 50% of the height of the page or something. And these are also very attention grabbing, because people will have to look there. If there's something appearing out of their eyes focus, people will pay attention to it and they will see it, but it will not be this annoying. So
that's cool. Also, do you think it works by embedding the like newsletter sign up or something within the page at a certain length past? So rather than triggering it, like having that all the time.
I mean, actually, if people have to be interested in what you offer there. So if you just say subscribe to our newsletter and you don't give them any reason, like you don't tell them what people will get or what you will send them or why they should sign up, then people will usually not do it. So give them the reasons. And then I think using something like this small box that appears is better than just putting it somewhere in your content. Because, I mean, look in analytics, look at your scroll height, and you will see that many people don't scroll to the point where you embedded it. And when you embed it too early, people will not be ready to sign up for it.
I have such bad experiences with these exit intent pop-ups. Like sometimes I'm just going to open a new tab. So I'm clicking on the plus rather than strong N, I think it is. I don't remember the shortcut.
You're one of the persons that think that on the German keyboard STRG is strong.
Well, I know that it's not strong, but that's how I abbreviate it. Sorry, it's control.
Yes, it's Steuerung.
Steuerung.
Yes.
Okay.
No, with a sh in the beginning, like Steuerung.
Steuerung. Okay. Yes, so when I click for a new tab and it thinks that I'm leaving the page, whereas I'm not, and I get this annoying pop-up, it's super frustrating because I was actually planning on staying on this page and now you're bothering me.
Yes.
Also, these full page pop-ups.
Yeah, like on write.com. They use them. I don't know if they still do, but these are really terrible.
Oh. Sometimes they don't work on mobile to exit out of them, so you're completely stuck. So
yes,
always check your pop-ups on mobile if you insist on using them.
Yeah, but maybe just don't use them.
But honestly, so if you're working in a big company where you have hippos, so higher, what is it? What is the abbreviation?
Highest paid person's opinion. So
yes.
People who earn more money, people who are in higher positions than others that use this position to push through their opinion or their decisions just because they can.
Exactly.
That was a nice definition.
That was really nice.
Yes, I made this up out of my mind.
Good job, Nils.
Oh my god, I'm smart.
Yeah, sometimes if you're dealing with the politics of hippos, then you have to roll out these things that maybe you tested it and it didn't work, but they want it anyway. You do have to roll out these bad user experience things. So just work and making them a little bit better as much as you can. That's just the way the world works, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it's really easy to A/B test these things. I was once seeing a talk on, I think it was Conversion Conference in Berlin, when it was still called Conversion Conference. Now it's called Digital Growth Unleashed because it sounds cooler. And
nice.
There was a talk from a bank, and they had, first of all, the whole case study that they showed was bullshit because they said changing the button color to orange increased conversions by 200%. Not kidding, they said that.
Wow.
And then in the end, someone from the audience was asking, why aren't your buttons orange on your page? And they said, oh, the result was there but it doesn't go with our CI, so we had to change it again. So I was like, if this would be true, which it is not, but if you would earn 200% more, you wouldn't just stick to your CI. It's like,
no.
what the fuck? Yeah.
You would change your CI to include orange.
Yes, that's the best thing, by the way. We did that for Audible when we were working for them, and we were allowed to challenge the CI with A/B testing, and
that's
then
cool.
change the elements that we tested, and so that they always have the at the moment best converting elements in their CI. That's really nice.
That is nice.
All right.
Are you excited to go to Burnley and talk with the Burnley people? All right.
Yes, I hope I will understand them. I will do that all the time. I think, all right, let's get smashed.
You sound like you're from Texas.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, all right.
How do they say?
Yeah, all right.
All right.
Let's get smashed.
Okay, that's all they say. That's all you ever give as an example.
Yes, or yeah, you will learn.
I will. Also, what's a good user experience? Oh no, we're talking about how to fail at UX. So if you want to fail at UX, if you have an online shop or something where people have to fill in their data to order something or to sign up for something, can be anything like an event or buy something, whatever, and you have a form, but you already have their data from their last order or their last sign up or whatever, then don't make them retype. Oh no, sorry. If you want to fail, you have to make them retype their form data. So they have to type their address all the time and their phone and their email and so on, although you have this information already. So that's something you see sometimes on pages. Like Optimizely uses that for webinars. If they do a webinar and is it Optimize? Yeah, I don't remember, but some A/B testing tool, they have webinars, and I get this email telling me about their webinar. Then when I go to the page, I have to type my email to join. But they could easily just grab the data through the URL and like grab it from a database, so that it's kind of GDPR okay.
Yeah.
And then you wouldn't have to type again. You could just click on join or get me in there. That's what she said. Or whatever. I don't know why I'm always whispering that that's what she said today.
Because it's naughty.
Oh, but normally it's not a problem.
Yeah, you are whispering it today.
I think it's whenever I say it to myself, like when I said the statement that I reply to with that's what she said. If I do both of those parts, then I whisper. Otherwise, I don't.
Because you're demonstrating a difference.
I'm demonstrating brackets.
Yes.
By
whispering.
By whispering. Yeah, whisper brackets.
Ooh, that's a nice new word. Whisper brackets. Okay, cool. Yes, there is a lot of ways that you can fail your UX on forms.
Oh, yes.
Like if something goes wrong in the order process, please don't make me refill my data when I have to go back. Say, okay, that payment method is not accepted. And then I have to go back and refill all of my contact details. That's just magic. I love that.
It's also great if you mistyped something, like your email was wrong and you wanted to send the form, then you have to type your password and confirm your password again. So because it was deleted from somewhere out of the form. And yeah, it's just annoying to retype things that you already typed.
Yeah. And these are things that, this isn't rocket science, improving the UX of your online forms, and just immediate changes can have really much better impact on your overall UX.
Also, you should always use event tracking in analytics to see what happens with your form fields. So see where do people start typing, where do they cause errors, and so on. What is the form field that makes people abandon most of the time, and so on.
I really hate giving out my phone number when I don't need to. The only time I need to give someone my phone number is for a flight, and maybe for if I'm buying something and they can't find me.
Yeah, and not for search metric webinars. Seriously, they're always asking for everything.
Yes, they are.
Malte, if you listen.
Which he doesn't, because he never.
but who knows? And it's not a complete lead if there's no phone number.
Is that their mentality on it?
I think so. I mean, not only there, it's with many companies.
Okay, that's strange.
I got so fat. Sorry.
Bitte.
I was just looking at my tummy and wobbling it.
I'm sorry, but anyone who sits down looks fat because of the tummy rolls.
All of them. Okay. How many do you have? I only have one.
I have one. Like one big one.
Yeah, like all the tummies, one roll.
Yeah, they've all just like merged together. It's beautiful.
Yes.
That's why I'm.
I think so. This is why I'm hot.
This is why I'm hot.
Just rapping a bit.
Should we speak more about form optimization? Because I know you love that. But that's too much.
Nah, that can be a full episode.
That's true. Okay, let's talk about one of your biggest UX failure things. I say thing a lot. What's the next one? Sliders. Yeah.
Sliders is the next. Oh, I hate talking about sliders. I do that all the time, and every time I talk about it, I say that this is the last time I'm talking about it.
Why?
So this is the last time I'm talking about sliders because it's all. I actually made a video on it for Instagram so that I wouldn't have to talk about it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like 3 minutes talking about sliders. But
you should put a link in the description to this then.
To my Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I will get all the followers. Also, I think Flauschi is in there.
Oh.
So the quick version, 3 problems with sliders. The first one is usually people use them on their homepage, the sliders, so that the whole stage, like the full screen or almost the full screen that people see when they enter your page, is about one single thing that you want to say. And that's bad because, I mean, probably you have like 3, 5, 7, whatever slides, or 4, whatever. And if you only show one message per slide, people will most probably not see all the messages you have in there, but probably they are important to you. Like you want people to see it because otherwise you wouldn't have it on your homepage slider. And the thing is, people will not wait 27 seconds just to see what's in each slide. And no one uses slider controls. Like no one clicks these little bullet icons there where you can skip through the slides. And yeah, so that's a problem. So you use your full entry screen just for showing one single message. But people will most probably not be interested in exactly this one message that they see first. Also, if people scroll down and the slider is still visible and they are reading text there, and then something moves out of their focus, like I said earlier, with a small box that appears in the corner of your screen, if you want people to sign up or whatever, this is the same thing. So if you are reading a text and then out of your focus, the whole slide is moving, it's extremely distracting. So people will look in that direction, or the eye wants to go up there. That's a bad reading experience. Oh yeah, and also if people are interested in what's in a single slide, usually when they want to interact with it, it just disappears because it moves out of the screen. And many people don't know that some sliders will be stopped, will be paused when you move your mouse over them, but they might not have the mouse there. So yeah, it's just overall, sliders are really bad. And I've tested this a lot. So I've tested putting the content that you have in all of your slides next to each other so that it's visible at the same time against using a slider. It always led to an improvement. So the slider always lost. And I don't know why people use it. And whenever I talk to clients and they have a slider and I tell them just remove it, it's always a better result. Sometimes for the click rate on the slides that are coming later, it's sometimes even like 2 or 3 times better click rate than it was before. Nice. So just don't use sliders.
Not in any case.
Nah, I really wouldn't. I mean, yes, for photo galleries, it's okay. If you want to show some impressions.
Yeah, like carousels and things. Yeah.
Yes, that's fine. Yeah, but not for interaction content. Another thing that can be really bad is scroll animation. So I'm not talking about this parallax scrolling effect that you might know when the image or an area, while you're scrolling down, it's scrolling slower than the site actually does. So this is the parallax effect. But I mean, if you interact with a site by scrolling, if you manipulate the scrolling behavior, the normal one. So usually you scroll down and you're scrolling down, but sometimes you have pages that when you scroll down, suddenly something happens on the page, like a door opens and then some image comes flown into the screen and so on. So I was working for a bank in Switzerland and they had a page that was 100% controlled by just scrolling, and they wanted to show an elevator animation, and seriously it was like you scroll down, which led to like the number light up on the door, and then you scrolled further and then the door opened, and then you scrolled further and then the text came and so on. So it's really strange and that's unusable. So bad user experience if people cannot use their normal scrolling behavior.
No, like the style over substance kind of thing. It can be really nice when it's done well, but only if it's done well. My website has a parallax home screen.
Oh, is it public yet? Can we mention it?
No, because it's still missing a lot of SEO fundamentals. And if SEOs see an SEO's website, they immediately check it for all the things.
But you could say something like, put in your code, just do as I say, not as I do.
Yes.
So
that's true.
Yeah, I always say that because my website is by far not the best website I have.
It's effort, you know? You don't want to spend money on something that doesn't really make you money.
Yeah. How do you like these super short squeeze landing pages? Like you see an ad on Facebook where someone doesn't really tell you what he wants to sell to you. Then you come to his page and there is nothing. There's just a form saying, sign up now to get the information.
I've never seen that before.
Oh, I have.
Okay.
So, but imagine. No, it's just.
I can picture it, yeah.
Yes, it's just why they want my email just to tell me what they want from me or want to give to me. So yeah, it's bad.
Is it like blocked hidden content behind a paywall or something, or do you need to subscribe in order to get stuff?
You need to subscribe.
Okay.
So it's the info marketing scene where people try to make money out of their half knowledge. They often use it, so they get the subscribers. And I think this works great for them because they have a very, let's say, a very simple-minded audience many times. So for them it can work. But
yeah, that's why they're so successful.
Yeah, no offense though, if you ever signed up for these.
Well, not all of them are evil, let's say.
No. Just annoying.
Just most of them.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. No, but I think if you, as I said earlier, if you want people to sign up, give them reasons. And the reason shouldn't be find out what I have for you.
Okay. Next point.
Maybe you start. I always start.
Okay. And the next thing is organizational blindness. What?
Nothing.
I had one job. I couldn't say it. Such as navigation, site structure, wording, and lack of clarity.
That's just the notes.
I know, but I don't really know what you mean. It's your point.
I'll just say it. Yeah. So, organizational blindness. So if people know too much about their own company, about their own website, it's a problem. For example, if you have a navigation menu that's not intuitive to use. So people might not know where to find specific menu items in your sub menus that will open, or even the wording in navigation. I like the Deutsche Telekom, as an example. I would just open their page while I'm saying this, because they have some products that they use as names for their navigation. So
is it a good example or a bad example?
Telekom is perfect for bad examples. So
okay.
You have a menu item here saying Magenta 1, which is a name of their product, and I have no idea what that is, so why would I click it? If you have this word, if you have this product name, it's fine, but use navigation descriptions that people will understand, because otherwise they might not click it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I think only Magenta 1 customers will know what Magenta 1 is. Otherwise, you just don't know it. At least I don't know it, although I've heard it a lot. But
No, I think only the existing Magenta 1 customers would know that. So you always have to take the perspective of a complete newcomer to your website. How would they move around? Can they do that easily? Is everything descriptive of where you will land or where you will go to when you're thinking of your site navigation?
yeah, exactly. And of course, not only the navigation, everything. So also the structure of your site. So
Yeah.
where do I find what? Like, what's the sitemap? Sometimes people will not understand where to find things. So always, it would be best just to ask people who have no idea what you're offering and just let them decide your page structure and then
Mm-hmm.
use that.
I think, yeah, user testing can be really valuable for this sort of stuff. Just giving them your website and your product and telling them to complete a task and seeing how they do that and if they can. And if they can't, then obviously you need to readdress it. If it takes them too long, then there are obstacles and it's not as easy. Yeah, and that can be so valuable.
Yeah, maybe let's talk a bit about SEO.
Yes.
Do you think that UX is important for SEO?
Personally, I think UX is very important for SEO. Some people don't agree with me, but
Screw
these
them.
days, yeah, screw those haters. These days, Google is Google is good at identifying poor user experiences, but it's more about um, a satisfied visit or an unsatisfied visit. So Google can determine if a user bounced back to the search results, how long they spent on your website, if they did something like click on a competitor's site after visiting yours, and then how long they spent on that page, and so on.
And also, I think one very important signal is that if people search for something and they go to your site, and then the next search that they do on Google is about something completely different. So Google will see, okay, so people found their answer on this page because now they're searching for cat porn. Or, oh my God,
Mhm.
what? I don't even know what cat porn is.
Change your example.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so even though Google has said that they don't take Google Analytics data into consideration when ranking websites, but they don't need to. They don't need to access your bounce rate or your time on site or anything. They can easily determine if a user was satisfied with their query, if they needed to go back and change their keyword because their results were bad and your page was bad or whatever. And then, yeah, like you said, if they exited the results or if they searched for something completely different, then they know. So that's why it's very important to not just worry about improving your rankings through, site improvement or link building strategies or classic SEO, whatever. It's not just about bringing users to the website anymore. It's also about satisfying those users with awesome UX.
Yes.
Yeah. So also what is the point of your SEO rankings, your performance in organic search if people cannot complete their goal, if they're not having a good on-site experience and making a conversion or signing up to a newsletter or anything. So you also have to think about the end goal in your SEO work.
Yes. Do you think it's the other way around? It's the same? Like, is SEO important for your UX as well?
I think so.
Because of featured snippets?
Everything is about feature snippets, but no, I'm not talking about feature snippets anymore.
Right.
Yes, because designers and development teams build beautiful products and all this work goes into UX, but what is the point if no one can actually find it? Organic is a huge source of traffic and bringing new users to your website, but if your page is not understandable by search engines, if it's not compatible, then what is the point?
True.
So the two need each other to exist. Do you agree?
Yes, of course. I'll just say yeah. No,
Good.
I seriously agree.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think both are important. I could just repeat what you said very slowly, but it's fine.
And then I will think you're super smart like me.
Mhm. Do you know any SEO specific UX fails that you should avoid?
Yes. So a really crappy or a really good way of failing at UX on your in your SEO strategies is by irrelevant keyword targeting, sort of creating pages and content to rank for keywords that are maybe similar to your product just in order to get traffic to your website. Because if you see that, okay, a niche topic is related to my product or my service or whatever, no one else is really targeting it at the moment. So I can easily target it, but there is no chance for a user to convert, or there's no way that I can fulfill the demand that they have. But I can rank easily for it. So I'm going to generate thin pages just to target those keywords.
It's just for these vanity metrics where you can say, oh my God, look at all the traffic that's on my page.
Exactly.
Okay.
And look at my visibility increasing
Oh,
because I'm
yes.
targeting all these keywords. And in the past, this was good. If your goal was to improve traffic to a website, then this was one good way of doing it. But now that's harmful to your SEO. It's bad for panda signals, so generating irrelevant, thin content, and it's going to kill your brand reputation with those users when they come to your site and they say, what is the point in me being here? Then they'll have a bad association with your company and your brand.
Yeah.
And I'm not just referring to, let's say, out of stock pages or sorry, we no longer offer this service here, because there are you can still rank for those keywords in correct ways if you're providing, some kind of better solution for the user, like please notify me when this is back in stock, or setting up redirects, temporary redirects, depending on the situation. On the topic of content, I know we spoke about this in our first episode. Keyword heavy SEO text is no longer an efficient way of SEO effort. SEO optimization, search engine optimization. I say that all the time.
Did you just try not to say keyword density?
No, I will happily say keyword density, but
Oh my
always in a
God.
negative way.
Yes, that's fine.
Keyword stuffing, just spinning content for the sake of having those keywords in the text. And of course, you need to somehow cover the topic that you're targeting, but it's no longer necessary to, say, okay, this copy needs to have a keyword density of X percent or whatever, because when your writers or your content team are so focused on integrating these keywords in there, then I think the quality really goes down, because it's more about having this query in the text rather than covering a topic in a way that serves a benefit to the user.
Yeah, and also this keyword density topic, I don't know, it was bad 10 years ago already, but still sometimes people do it. Like if you have
Uh-huh.
inexperienced writers or inexperienced people running websites, they say, oh, we need to have this word a few more times in the
Yeah.
text. And it's like, you have no idea what you're talking about, you
No,
stupid person.
exactly. And I think it happens when you're too exact with your briefings, your content briefings. And when you say, okay, this text must contain the Izzy and Nils Show podcast 4 times, and then it just ends up getting so repetitive and unnecessary. So it's better just to give them the overall topic and make sure that they provide useful content out of that.
Yes.
I think another SEO specific way of failing at UX is incorrect language handling. Say if you have a international domain or an international service and you want to target the right users in the right location, you have to make sure that everything is set up right with your hreflang so that the user goes to the correct region and language where they're searching from.
Can you maybe explain hreflang?
Yes.
Cool.
For everyone in the room.
Yes, for everyone else.
So actually, hreflang is one of the hardest things to get right in SEO because it can be very complicated depending on your domain language setup. What it does is it's basically a small piece of code in the HTML that tells the search engine where to serve which URL version. So, for example, if I have a UK domain and a US domain, which are both in English, I need to tell Google to serve the British users this URL and the Americans this URL. And that's very important because, okay, yes, we speak the same language, but there are many different nuances in how we talk and the different spellings we use, but also the currency and the shipping locations and all of that.
And also then you have all the other people speaking English but not living in these countries. So that makes it even more difficult.
Exactly. And it's a really bad user experience if you're not correctly serving search engines the right location or language version, because as a British person, I don't want to see my e-commerce site when I'm shopping. I don't want to see dollars, and I don't want to see recipes in cups and all these different metrics. So this also kills your user experience and makes for high bounce rates. And but it's not a ranking factor. It's just a way of making sure that the correct users from the correct locations are going on to the correct pages.
I think it's like an indirect ranking factor, because if you mess it up, then it will decrease the UX, which might lead to worse search engine results.
Of course. Yes. I still find it very frustrating how, after the GDPR legislation came into place last year, a lot of American websites made EU users, they made it so they can't access their site anymore. Have you seen this still?
I know of one site that just shut down.
Yeah. And it's really annoying that Google still has these pages in EU SERPs, because there is this big sign saying, sorry, we're no longer available in the EU anymore, but they're still ranking pretty well for keywords. So Google also gets this wrong.
Yeah. Stupid Google.
Stupid Google. Go home, Google. You're drunk. And of course, if you want to know more about UX impacting SEO and how the two can work together, come and watch us in London in June. Yay.
2019, if you are listening in the future.
Oh, like you. You're in the future.
Yes, I want to be called Future Man now.
Future Man.
Yes.
If you're in the future, why can't you warn me of all the bad mistakes that I make?
Because it's only 6 hours. You only make long-term mistakes, like bad life decisions.
Bad life decisions, yes. Yeah. So, Nils, do you have any ways of how we can properly measure good user experiences?
This is kind of a topic for our future episode on analytics, which will come at some point. Mm-hmm. But in general, I think the easiest, fastest, and best way to measure all of this is really using a lot of event tracking. So if you have Google Analytics or any analytics platform, you should track events, and many of them. So it depends on how big your site is, because if you have normal, like unpaid analytics, Google Analytics, then I think you can measure up to 10 million data points per month. And if you have the paid version, which is really really expensive, then I think you can measure 2 billion per month. But I'm not sure. But it takes a lot of time to get to these numbers. So if you are working for a huge company, maybe doing a lot of event tracking is a bad idea, because it will cause your analytics data to just be samples, because you cannot collect all the data anymore. Mm-hmm. But still, you should measure at least some things. Like I said earlier, if you have a form, do event tracking for your form. So what fields do people fill? Where do they cause an error? Or what are the errors when they want to send the form, and so on? Or measure things like the scroll height of your page. So how far did people scroll? How long were they on there? So, I mean, analytics measures this by itself. You should also use something like a no bounds script. So you have to Google this yourself, but if you Google for no bounds, because normally Google Analytics will say it's a bounce, even if the person spent 10 minutes on the site reading and then leaves it, then it counts as a bounce, but it's actually not. So I would use like a no bounce script, which says after 15 seconds or after 20 seconds or 10 or whatever you feel like is right, don't count leaving the page without interacting with it. Don't count it as a bounce anymore. So things like this. And of course, track all the links that people click. So don't only track the pages that people visited, which automatically happens, but instead you should track which exact links were clicked to get to these pages, and so on and so on. So just do a lot of event tracking and try to measure any interaction that people do with your site. And this is, I think, a way to measure user experience, because you will see how do people interact. Also, of course, mouse tracking is a great way to do this. So you can use tools like Hotjar, just to mention them again, or others, and you can just see how people interact with your site. And you will also see things like rage clicking and so on. So if people click really often in one place, that's usually a sign of a bad user experience. All right. Sorry for saying this all the time.
All right.
Because, I mean, everyone who listens to this, they will not know why we say it, and they will just think we're stupid. But it's fine.
It's fine.
So thanks everyone for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you did so, then please subscribe to us on Spotify, iTunes, and so on. You can find all the links on easynewsshow.com. Also, if you have anything to add or any questions or any requests for new episode topics, please use hashtag easynewsshow on Twitter and tweet us all your love.
And don't forget to give us a 5-star review on iTunes.
Exactly. People need to see the GIF when we say this.
Yes.
They can't.
Link in the description.
Okay, I will put it there.
Thank you for listening to the Izzy and Nils show. Join us next week for our favorite marketing tools. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Is it okay if I take my shirt off? Because I turned the AC off because it's loud.
Sure.
And wait a second. Better.
Oh.
Oof. Naked podcasting.
I haven't even paid money yet.
Yes. No pictures, please.
No.
Sorry, I'm just playing with my nipples.